biggest earners have agreed to take a 75% pay cut. Live to our chief news reporter, Brian Swanson now, who's at the training ground. These are a significant step as far as cost cutting at Rangers, aren't they?
Yes, the Rangers administrators know that they need to make savings of £1 million a month. They need to make those savings as quickly as possible. Negotiations with the players have been continuing throughout the day. Then overnight, news emerged of some of the biggest earners who've agreed to make some of the biggest cuts, 75% cuts to Stephen Whittaker, Stephen Naismith, Alan McGregor, and Sky sources just hearing in the last few minutes that Stephen Davis, also the fourth big earner who has agreed to make that significant pay cut. So just to confirm that news in the last couple of minutes, just hearing there that Davis joins Whittaker, McGregor and Naismith to agree to that 75% wage cut to try and ensure the club's survival for at least until the end of the season. Naismith spoke to reporters, he spoke to us as he drove into the training ground earlier today.
To be honest, we just want the best with and it needs to be known that the club's basically doing all they can to get a solution here. There's a lot of Rangers fans in the squad and they just want to get it fixed, so hopefully a deal can get done and the players basically do it.
What were the negotiations like?
No, everybody's trying to come to a good conclusion and get the best for the club, but like I said, everybody wants to succeed. There's a lot of innocent people here that just want to go on with their lives and get a job at the end of the day, basically.
Could you it was a massive...
Just before I talk to you about the potential sale of the club, because obviously that's a pertinent point for Rangers, the fact that it's now become 4 from 3 as far as the big earners who are willing to take a pay cut, are we expecting any more confirmation of a 5th perhaps?
We're just waiting for the latest on Lee McCulloch, but certainly there would be every expectation now that that deal is now finally kneeling to completion. The supporters have heard it all week, but now it seems now at last the administrators have managed to reach a deal that will ensure the short-term survival of the club. We're just waiting for the administrators here at the Murray Park training complex to try and get an update from them, but the significance is that the supporters have long been asking exactly what sort of an impact the players can expect, and Ali McCoist said earlier this week that he believed the squad was together. He said there were no divisions in the squad and that the players wanted to do all that they could to try and prevent mass redundancies elsewhere in the club.
Obviously the key thing ultimately is to sort out a sale of the club. Have there been any developments, or has the focus been purely on agreeing these terms with the players?
Well, the reason, Adam, that this is so significant is that the biggest earners at the club are also the biggest assets. And if you want to buy Rangers Football Club, one of the key things that you'll be looking at, as well as the debt that may or may not occur on behalf of the big tax bill due at the end of this month, you want to look at the players that they've got and how competitive could that club be going into next season. So that's the juggling act that the administrators have tried to perform. They need to try and keep a strong squad that makes it attractive to new investors. But they need to be brutal too, because this club, like any failing business, is losing money in administration. The administrators know that they need to try and keep the costs down. The £1 million a month needs to be saved, but certainly in terms of the highest earners at the club, this now goes surely a long way to ensuring that this club will at least fulfil its fixtures until the end of the season. But the big question, of course, is what happens at the end of the season. The club won't be in Europe next season. The administrators have already said that that's highly unlikely and won't happen to meet the deadline at the end of this month. So this, at the moment, it could be seen as being papering the cracks, but certainly it does make the club attractive to new investors on the playing side of it by trying to keep their biggest assets here.
OK, Brian, thanks very much for now.